Hey, my Taurus babies, what's happening? This is EJ from Taurota Tarot. Hope everybody is having a good, whatever this week is between Christmas and New Year's, just kind of in limbo. I think in one of my other videos I said it's where you do too much. You drink too much, you smoke too much, just too much. Because there ain't nothing else to do. At any rate, this is going to be for Taurus and Aquarius. We're going to take a see at what's going on next year for the two of you. I can tell you now there's going to be some reunions. I pay attention to, well, when I do this, I cut the TV off. And I listen to the cable music stations. And it'll usually be a jazz station that I listen to. And so one of the first songs that came on when I cut this on about 20, 30 minutes ago was Breathe Again by Toni Braxton. So that gives you any kind of indication. And I pay attention to the signs around me when I'm getting in the mood to read. And the next song that came up is Let's Do It Again. By Eric X. Essex. Yeah, so some of y'all are getting ready to dip in the pool one more again. For some of you, that's a good thing. For others of you, it may feel like a step backwards, especially if this is coming out of a relationship that has been through the hills, the valleys, the mountains, and the low points. It may trigger more negativity and toxic shit for you than it's worth. So this is going to be one of those situations where you're going to have to just really think about your own personal situation and think about if getting back into a relationship with your Aquarius, if you've been separated, is worth it. Those of you that are together, it's kind of the same energy. Tauruses that are with Aquariuses now, and it's just hasn't been a good relationship. Next year might be the year for some termination. Others of you that have seen a steady increase in better will get more of that. Once again, it's going to be one of those things, just depends on where you are with your situation. It's almost like a 50-50 fucking split. 5 of Wands on the cut. The 2 of Wands on the cut. And the Lover's card. Well, look at that. Might as well flip the big ones over too. Knight of Wands, the Rock Star. Ace of Wands. And the Mage, or the Magician. Pretty much what I said. A lot of fire here. So there's going to be a lot of passion at either end of the spectrum. Even for those of you that might be headed on the outs, there may be a trip or two to the bedroom before anybody actually packs up a bag and leaves. And then where it is. A lot of fire. A lot of fire. A lot of action and activity, and a lot of passionate activity. Now, the thing with the word passionate, usually we put that word with romance and sexual liaisons, if you will, passion, the fire, the heat. But the fire and the heat can also be the fire and the damn heat. So if you are dealing with, now I'm talking to Taurus, if you're dealing with an Aquarius, and depending on where they've got other planet placements, and if they're the type to get petty when things get funky, that's passion as well. So again, it's going to be a 50-50 split on how this works. With the 2 of Wands and the 5 of Wands, there's going to be some changes. The 5 there is telling me there's going to be some changes. And it can either be to the good or to the bad. Once again, it's going to depend on where you are with your situation. With the 8 of Swords sitting up under that 5, I'm led to believe that there's a lot of decisions and a lot of overthinking 8 is real close to 10. I'm just saying. A lot of overthinking. Oddly enough, the Page of Wands is underneath there. So some of you that may be headed on the outs, it may not be a clean cut thing because that page is fresh energy. So you may get a reboot in the middle of the kick out. I'm just saying. And Taurus Aquarius relationships, from my observation, seem to run like this. They're way up. They might swing way down, especially if you've got a partner that's not really ready to commit. A lot of Aquariuses, it takes them a while. They like commitment, but it takes them a long time to settle down. If they're not already in that mode, they wander around for a while. So I have a cousin who's never been married. He's got 3 kids, never been married. Not thinking about it, never thought about being married. That's the funny thing. Just wasn't it for him. Wasn't it for him. So however this is going to resonate with you, the Two of Wands, there's some things that you're going to come together about. But now, oddly enough, sitting right up under the Three of Swords. So, while the two of you may be trying to plan and collaborate, there may be some extracurricular activity, Taurus. We could throw that out there too. Especially in the warmer months. Let's say towards the middle of the summer, July, August, there may be some stuff going on. The feeling there is not necessarily Aquarius reaching out, but somebody from the past may be coming back in Aquarius's life. And that may rock the apple cart for them and for you. So you got to put that out there. The Lover's card, the lightest energy in the row, it's sitting on top of the Eight of Wands. Once again, another 8. It's a lot of communication with the 8, but with the Lovers, it's really towards you evaluating whether or not you want to continue with your commitment to your Aquarius. You got the power. Both of you got the power to make it happen. It's just, do you want to make it happen? And a lot of this is going to deal with things that have happened in the past. So if it's been a lot of bullshit, shaky ass ground in the past, it's going to make it very easy for both of you to walk away, especially with the two of you being fixed signs. Yeah, I think Aquarius is fixed. I know Taurus is. Might make it kind of sticky wicket, if you will. Taurus, I'm going to say to you, don't get caught up in the gloss. Don't get caught up in the gloss. Don't get caught up with all the tweeters, bells, and whistles, as we say. That might cause you more problems in the long run than anything, because for some of you, it feels like your Aquarius may be doing a lot of stuff, especially with that Three of Swords popping up, saying, oh, everything's wonderful, beautiful, Cadillac's beautiful, and, you know, you get in a Cadillac and end up being a hoopty, half running. I'm just saying. Same kind of energy here. You know, Aquarius might be trying to shine a big light on everything that's great and groovy, but in the background has some other stuff going on. Keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. With the rock star, that Knight of Wands, player. This applies to both of you, actually. There may be some eye movement in other directions. You may be looking around yourself, Taurus, to see what else is out there. And this is, I gotta say it, this goes for Tauruses that are in fairly decent Taurus Aquarius relationships. Someone may catch your eye. And you, better stated, is you, Taurus, may catch somebody else's eye. They may be eyeballing you. And they may come with a big, fat, whole lot of wagon full of stuff. So be prepared. Just be prepared. I don't know. It feels like some of you might say, yeah, let's do it, and leave poor Aquarius in the dust. Others of you may hold firm. I think that's really going to depend, though, for Taurus, on how loyal they feel their Aquarius is being. There's that Three of Swords again. With the Ace of Wands, there's going to be some new and different energy, no matter what your relationship, no matter what status you're in. New energy is going to make itself known. Some of you may get pregnant next year by your Aquarius partner, or vice versa, however that's working. That'll be something big. Others of you that may be in separation, oh, there's the pleasure card, with your Aquarius, they may surprise you, and they've been somewhere else with someone else. They may surprise you and be like, hey, how you doing? I ain't with them no more. Again, I feel the energy, a lot of triggering energy. Some Taurus, Aquarius couples, maybe the sex was off the hook. Maybe that was the thing. You know, regardless of whatever commitment issues or not were going on, it might have just been the damn sex. What the hell? If you get into that cycle, be mindful. Just be mindful. If you're doing it because the sex is good, put it there. Don't, get all bleary-eyed and start talking about, oh, we could get married. Yeah. Don't get into the illusion game if that's where you are. If you're in a situation like this with your Aquarius partner or vice versa. Don't get into the rose-colored glasses. See things for what they really are. The Emperor. One of the both of you may have some Aries placement somewhere. There's a lot of emotion there, even with the Emperor's cold, staunchy ass. There's still a lot of passion. Like if you had to argue with him on something political, you'd be standing up all damn day trying to get your point across because he's going to give it to you. Double barrels. There's that passion. Six of Cups. A lot of emotion. There's a lot of love between this, for some of you, in this pairing. Ace of Wands is your challenge. There's that new energy. There's a lot of love, but and I get it, because Taurus and Aquarius historically are not the couple. Using my Bert and Ernie fingers here. They're not the couple. We wanted to just run down the alphabet. Probably a better pairing is Taurus and water, particularly Cancer. We're so much alike when it comes to family and home. Even Taurus and Leo, for some of you, might be a better thing. Taurus and Aquarius ain't no joke, because you're two very different things. You're talking about the earth, and you're talking about the damn wind. And don't either one really need the other. That's the thing. That's when it gets tricky. Wind doesn't need earth, and earth doesn't really need wind to do what it does. So, virtue. That's a whole slew of them. Thought that was just one. There it is, though. Prince of Cups, the filmmaker. Pentacles. Queen of Cups. This is for some of you, this may be a karmic situation. A lot of emotional stuff going on here. A lot of water. A lot of water. Water and fire. Fortitude. I don't know, Taurus. It's interesting. Interesting. Three of Pentacles. Oh. Somebody trying to blow up firecrackers in the middle of the doggone night. You know they too much. On a Thursday. Go to bed. Shit. 7 of Cups. 6 of Cups. On top of that, Ace of Wands, Ace of Clubs. Pentacles, top of the Ace of Cups, 4 of Wands on top of the Virtue, Aquarius, Star card on top of the Filmmaker, the World card on top of the Ace of Pentacles or Ace of Discs, Six of Wands on top of the Therapist for the Queen of Cups. And the 4 of Cups on top of the nine of Clubs. Fortitude. I'm sorry, I'm getting choked up over here. The incense blowing right in my damn face. For a lot of you, it's just going to be decision time next year. That's what I'm going to say about this. It's just going to be decision time. Either you're going to be in or you're going to be out. Either you walk away for good or you stay for good. There's no middle of the road here. For whatever the reason, there's a lot of emotional background stuff going on here. And I don't know if it's because both of you have unhealed childhood shit going on, or if the situation itself has been so much that it has just created a lot of toxic little pockets in how you respond to each other. Say it like that. Your overall, the front end, the 3 of Pentacles on top of the 6 of Cups. Taurus for sure. And Taurus, you had to work into this passion. You didn't just step off into this like, oh, hey. No, you had to work into this. And so you knee deep in it. You knee deep. You are knee deep in it. I feel like there's Tauruses that are in situations with Aquariuses that are kind of troubled. You're trying to make a go of this. Little girl sitting there drawing with her pad, with her teacher there, and the naked art student, of course. And in other decks that I have, the 3 of Pentacles is about being a work in progress. You've had to work into 6 of Cup energy. This wasn't easy for you. But now I feel like y'all are like, I'm here. I don't want to not be here. How can we make this right? The back end with the 7 of Cups on top of the Emperor is the Emperor's that subtle passion. But don't get this joker going. Start arguing about something political. He'll wear your ass out. You'd be tired. I'm just saying that's that quiet passion that's going on. It's kind of throttling in the background. And Taurus, I believe you are honestly trying to figure out what your options are all the way across the board. Do you, and just what I said, do you want to stay here or do you want to do something else? Your challenge, the Six of Cups on top of the Ace of Wands, it's bringing, what's my word? Some kind of civility to the situation, and figuring out where neutral or fresh ground is between the two of you, where it's not all one thing or the other, all in the bedroom and the rest of the relationship goes to hell, or is sometimey, it's here, it's there, it's not here, we are, we aren't type shit. That's your challenge. Is to find out where that fresh ground is and bring some levity to the situation, if you will, so you can see clearly what you need to do. Because I feel like a lot of Tauruses in particular, because we are just wired the way that we are, because we're loyal, because we're grinders, we work, and we have a singular focus. That means we can't multitask. We most certainly can. But once we get on something, we ain't stop until we get done. And a lot of times we do that to the detriment of our relationships, with an S, because once things get going, why are we stopping to turn around? And that's how we think. But dealing with an Aquarius, once again, you're dealing with something that is constantly changing, and that can be nerve-wracking for Taurus too. Always looking for something new. Rex in effect. Fuck. You gotta find some middle ground. Even if you're talking about breaking up, you're gonna have to find some middle ground. That's your challenge. The Ace of Wands, some fresh energy to do whatever it is that you need to do. If you're going to stay in it, recommit yourself to it. If you're going to walk away from it, commit yourself to walking away from it and get out of a cycle of getting together and breaking up, getting together and breaking up, and getting together and breaking up. If you're looping like that, that's a signal to tell you, one of the both of you is not all in it. The Star card on top of the filmmaker over here, if you're going to stay together, you may have to re-envision what your relationship looks like. Some of you that are getting back together, maybe some changes. Maybe one or the both of you have kids now. You're going to have to re-envision what your ideal relationship with this person looks like. While we might be talking about your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, all that the Star card represents, the filmmaker is about telling that story. You may have to re-envision what your relationship is going to look like. And that's the Prince of Cups. So that is equivalent to a page in my head. So that's new, young energy. There may be some immaturity on somebody's part. They're not taking the time to see where they want the relationship to go, and they're just kind of flying by the seat of their pants type shit. At some point next year, you're going to have to, the two of you together, if you're going to do it, are going to have to sit down and have that conversation. There's no other way around it. And you're going to have to bring some honesty. 3 of Clubs, 3 of Wands, the Virtue, the Four of Wands. You're gonna have to put some framework around this. You can't have no building with no walls. Come on now. And you can't just float in and out, you know, especially those of you that have been at this for a minute, a year, 2 or 10. You know, you keep going and break up, something happens, and gone for a minute and they come back. You know, how long are you going to do that? At some point, you're going to have to either commit to each other or just commit not to be together. Because at some point, you start wasting your time. Start wasting your time. The Ace of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles, again, it's Taurus, the hard work, putting in the effort. And it's got you right here, the Ace of Cups, like, put all this effort into this relationship and I have feelings. Come on now. Taurus is not the biggest on the emotional tip, unless you're me and got Pisces moon and weepy all the time. But most Tauruses are pretty stern in how they approach romantic situations. And when they do fall in love, watch out. Watch out. Some of you may trip that wire next year as well. And for some of you, it feels like you weren't even anticipating anything with your Aquarius, or not to have the level and depth of feeling that you get into. The World card on top of the Ace of Disc. That's for those of you that are going to do the reboot, second half of the year. There it is. Bright and shiny. She's walking through and he's holding up. There it is. Those of you that are on the reboot tip, deciding you're going to come together again after some period of separation, work on keeping that freshness and that newness. Don't let this get stale. That may have been a problem in the past. Both of you felt like, drudgery. I'm going to say probably more Aquarius than Taurus. And it got boring. So think about what you do in the relationship. The Six of Wands on top of the Queen of Cups. We call in this deck, this Queen of Cups is the therapist. Yeah, that's a lot of passion. That's a lot of passion. And at some point, you may, Taurus, I think I'm talking to you now, you may have to just take a step back like a therapist and look at the whole situation for what it is. While you may feel like, ooh, it's time to celebrate. Once again, I'm going to say this, I think I said it earlier, about the illusions. Don't get caught up in the gloss. Be realistic about what's really going on. The Four of Cups on top of the Nine of Clubs, fortitude. Some of you, this piece is not for everybody, obviously. But some of you may be ignoring opportunities, other emotional opportunities, because you are just here by yourself. Come on. Some of you may be missing opportunities. Look at there, stubborn. So I've got 3 cups here. I know she's going to bring the 4th cup, so I'm just going to wait. Okay. Somebody else is trying to hand you that 4th cup, and you're ignoring it, thinking the grass is green where you are. That illusion. You see how this reading went back and forth. So, eat the fish and leave the bones. Take what belongs to you. Don't choke on somebody else's piece of fish. Figure out where you are in the scheme of things. I feel like many Tauruses that are in Aquarian relationships are going to fall in love next year. And if you're not careful, you might not land on your feet. Speak your mind. Let them do the talking. Come on. Can't make this shit up, man. I can't make it up. I couldn't write a movie this good. That's what I couldn't do. Okay? This is it. Speak your mind. I told you, some of y'all at some point next year you're going to have to get into it. You're going to have to have that conversation. What the fuck we doing? We're going left, we're going right, or we're going straight ahead, or we're going to go backwards. Because you're going to need the clarity. I feel like Taurus is growing, continuing to evolve. No matter your age, doesn't matter, but continuing to evolve, and half-ass is not getting it. Let them do the talking. Let them express to you, Taurus, how they feel. Let that Aquarius talk to you and tell you. If they can't communicate that to you, let that be a check mark in some box somewhere. Come on. Especially if you've been at this for a while. And I'm going to jump right to the last card. There are no excuses for bullshit. It's that simple. And that's where Taurus is. If you're cross-watching Aquarius for this, that's where Taurus is right now. Most Tauruses are in the mindset of they really don't give a fuck and they are not taking too much bullshit. End of sentence. Period. For a whole variety of reasons. Planetary, monetary, and other-tary. That's where they are. So, if you're cross-watching Aquarius, Taurus is really not in the mindset to be playing. So, if you're coming for real and you're coming correct, keep doing that. But if you're not sure, and there's nothing wrong with not being sure about what you want to do in a situation. What becomes wrong is when you don't articulate that. Then it gets right back to this. Taurus, it's going to be a question. Is it worth it? Is it worth it getting back into the relationship? Try that. Try to reboot. Some things are going to crop up because the two of you are back together. If there's baby mama, baby daddy drama, that might be some of it. And it's going to make you question, is it worth it? Is all of this drama and nonsense worth it? My bull babies, you know I love you. I hope you guys have a good week and a good New Year's Eve, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.